Hello friend, this is Ryan Hicks of TalkToProfit.com, and for this Reseller Friday I want to talk to you about how to stay motivated to list. This is a question of discipline because many people, for the vast majority of people I've talked to, do not like listing. As far as reselling goes, the activity they like the least is the listing part. Sometimes that includes the picture taking, but some people like taking pictures, they don't like the actual listing part. Some people don't like sourcing and other people like listing. But the vast majority do not like listing, and that is the biggest bottleneck in their business is the listing. They have no problem shipping stuff out. They're happy when they get a sale. They get it shipped out quickly. Everything's great. But they have what they call death piles stacked up around their house or their office or wherever it is of inventory that's not listed, and it's just piling up, wasting away. Why? Because they don't enjoy listing. And what I'm going to tell you is going to be contrary to what a lot of people would think is the solution for it. It's one, to approach it differently. What else are you going to be doing otherwise than listing? You can go scroll social media. You can go watch some dumb sporting event, watch some stupid movies, or what are you going to do? Play some video games? Why wouldn't you want to put your effort into the thing that actually makes you the money in the end? Because the sourcing is great, but if all your stuff is piled up in the corner, the sourcing is useless. Even if you get the best items in the world that everybody wants to buy, immediately when you list them, if you don't list them, they're worthless. They're not going to make you any money. You have to renew your mind to the fact that listing is part of your business. It is the most important part of your business. Because like I said, you can have the greatest sourcing habits, get the greatest items, but if they're stacked up somewhere in a death pile, not being listed, it is not a good business. So you have to take to heart that listing is the most important part of your business. Yes, you need to source great quality items. You don't need to be listing junk items, but many people's problem is the fact they're not listing as many items as they want to list. They're not listing as consistently as they want to list. And you want to know how to be consistent with your listing? Very simple. It's going to sound trite, but be consistent with your listing. That's how you be consistent with your listing. You just do it. Stop looking for justifications. Stop looking for ways out. Stop trying to say, well, I didn't feel good. List and list every day and list consistently and stop making excuses. Put listing first. So if you hate listing and you never seem to get it done, you always got some excuse, do it first before you do anything else. Before you look at social media, before you check emails, before you play some video game, before you do anything else that you want to do your listing first. And listen, I understand listing is not my favorite part of the business, but it is the most important part of the business. So I still list. Now I have a lister that lists for me as well, of course, but if you're just starting out, you don't have people to list for you. So you have to get down to understanding if you're going to do this business and you're going to be successful at it, you got to do the listing. The motivation comes from within, knowing this is how I make my money. I don't make my money on my old items that have been sitting there listed while I got all this stuff sitting here rotting away that I'm not listing. Your profitability is based on your consistent listing habit that you do each and every day. And I say that each and every day because people say, well, I can't list 7 days a week. I got to do this on Sunday or Saturday. Okay, eBay's made it very simple for you. Create drafts. So Saturday or Sunday, whenever you say you make some excuse about how you can't list, then have your drafts launch, schedule them. So if you can't list on Sunday, you got to do some extra work during the week. And then on Sunday, have scheduled listings that you schedule throughout the week or scheduled on Saturday, whenever you decide to schedule them, to launch on Sunday. You can do it, or you can just look for excuses. I can't pat you in the back and tell you everything's going to be all right when you're not listing, because it is the death of your business if you don't consistently list each and every day. And now you may say, well, but I know somebody didn't list for 2 weeks and they still had sales. Yes, but how long are your sales going to continue if you're not consistently listing? What happens is, this happens to so many people, they think, well, I don't have to list because I didn't list for 3 days and I still got sales. Great. But the issue is You keep selling out of the good items you have, the items people want that sell quickly, and eventually you get to a point where you have none of those things left, and because you're not consistently listing, you're not adding any more of those fast-selling items into your store, and eventually you're going to get to no sales or very dwindling sales. I've known people with 10,000 listings, and they're getting a few sales a day because they list inconsistently. You have to think of this from the platform's perspective, the marketplace you're selling on, whether it be eBay or Amazon or whatever. If you're not consistently listing, you're not consistently responding to customer issues, you're not consistently sending offers if you can, or doing whatever you need to do in your business to get sales, why would they send you the traffic that they can send the traffic to another person who has the exact same item you have, but that person is on the site every day? That person lists every single day. That person is always responding quickly to customer questions. That person is sending offers. That person is doing everything in their power to get sales. Why would they send the traffic to you? Even if you're lower priced, they're not going to send the traffic to you in many cases because you're not going to provide the best experience for the customer. And the biggest thing for them is when a customer gets to their platform, they want to retain them. And if they send the traffic to a seller who is not performing at the highest level they can, there's more of a likelihood, they know this from their algorithm, of billions of transactions of that customer having a bad experience because that kind of seller is more likely to have listed something wrong, more likely to have packed it poorly, more likely to have done something that a bad seller would do. And that's going to be a bad experience for the customer, and they may never return to the platform. So just strictly as a reasonable, logical person, you have to understand your listing is part of your business. Even if the stuff you're listing is not getting sales each and every day. So say you listed a bunch of stuff, you listed every single day for a week, but the new stuff you've been listing hasn't been selling. It doesn't matter. You are showing the platform that you are a consistent, great seller who's doing the things they need to do to get sales, and you're going to get more traffic sent to your other items in your store as well. Maybe the new ones aren't selling all that quickly. That's all right. But you're really working against yourself and crippling yourself in your business when you don't list every day. And that's the way you get motivated. To understand, if I don't do this, I'm crippling my business. If I don't do this, I'm limiting my sales. If I don't do this, I am going to be a lower performing seller on the platform, and they're not going to send me as much traffic as I could have got otherwise because I'm not showing up and being consistent in my daily listing habit. My friend, I pray this is a blessing for you. May God bless you richly.